Today we're going to go over which posts are actually making you money. So there's a big kind of social media is really hard for attribution. So attribution is the point at which your post categorically made a sale. Now, even when you're in paid social media, so when your job is to have a budget to spend, to be able to drive traffic, specific traffic towards making a sale, the attribution of that sale is still hard. And so we have to make assumptions. And so everyone's big question is like all around, is social media making us money? Which social media posts are making us money? Like it is the age old question, especially in like not just social, but for the big boys who own the social media companies. Fun fact. £86 billion is moved around in CFO budget every year because there is no true representation of social media being an actual driver of sales. Nonetheless, it is the only way to drive business and brand awareness in the modern digital infrastructure. So we have this situation in social where we know that it drives sales. We know that we need to do it. We know that we need to do it every damn day. Otherwise, we'll get left behind. But also, we cannot categorically tie results to sales. Now, this is something that we've been really, really conscious about kind of pulling together inside of Clue Labs. Clue Labs' goal is to help you post 3 times for the performance of 30. So if you were to post 3 times, you would get the same results as if you were to post 30 times. So that you only have to focus on posting 3 times for the performance of 30. Clue Labs analyzes the clues in your social media data to figure out your next best recommendations to grow your reach and your revenue on socials. Now, we do that as an actual guarantee. If you don't get that, we give you your money back. Not many people know about that, but it is absolutely core to everything we do. So we focus on all growth in social, but we tend to focus like right at the top, but we also focus like at the bottom in terms of actual sales inside of social. And so when you sit and you're piling all this effort into social media, hoping that'll work, hoping that it'll grow your business, or you've been told to by your boss and you're like frantically trying to make sure that you can prove conversion, it's really hard to get that true attribution, but that true attribution is something that we are working towards. It is our North Star, and we are doing it in 3 phases. Phase 1 is already live and already available for everyone inside of Clue Labs. This is Clue Labs. So Clue Labs is really simple software. Like it's not simple software on the inside, but it's simple software for you to sign up to. Clue Labs' MO is to help you get from posting 3 times to the performance of 30 and make it really, really simple. There is a lot of data analysis that goes on underneath, and we're in the process of kind of trying visualizations about that. But essentially, we analyze all of your data. We organize all of your data that comes through your socials, and we use that along with what we understand about your business and your company to tell you what to post next. So inside of Clue Labs, when you want to make a campaign, you simply select create new campaign, you give it a name. So I'm just going to write test. You select the growth that you want. So you can select whether you want to increase your video views, brand awareness, that kind of top of funnel, reach. Select whether you want to increase your followers. Select whether you want to increase your engagement, and select whether you want to increase your conversion. That is because inside of Clue Labs, we have done the analysis to understand which posts drive that conversion. I must say it's intent, high intent. That could lead to things like sales, bookings, or leads. This high intent conversion, we cannot attribute, like I said, we're going to do this in 3 stages inside of Clue Labs. We're on stage 1. We cannot truly link a social media post to a sale. That is something that we are working on. But right now, what we can do is show the posts that drive the intent. So these are the kind of posts that are motivating people to not just scroll through you, not just like comment because they kind of really like you, but to actually visit your profile, to actually click your website link, to actually click your email link, to actually click your book now link, to do those things that drive high conversion intent. People who feel motivated enough to truly start to check you out. And those kind of things are what drives sales. So inside of Clue Labs, you can select that as one of your campaigns. If you want to increase your conversion, you can select that and it will, if you post what it tells you to post, it will work. I'll show you just a really, really simple, I'll just carry this on. You literally give it like the time duration that you want to make the sale. I've just put a week in. Any particular kind of key dates that are happening, we're going to sip that. And you can put in as much detail here as you like. I would actually suggest that you put more in than nothing really, but just for the purposes of this, put in any detail about what's coming up, what you're selling. You know, we know about your business, we know about what you've talked about on social media, but if you're coming up with like a new offer, we don't know that. So you need to explain to the software what your new offer is. So it will buzz, 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 and it will, what it's doing now is it is looking at the data and the knowledge that it has about your social media account. It is identifying, it's already done this, but it's just pulling it together. But it's already identifying the posts that have particularly driven conversion intent. It's looking at number one, what format were those posts in? Number two, what dates and times did those posts go out, particularly what times and what days of the week? Number three, what kind of keywords were in those posts that they said? Number five, what emotion was in that post? What kind of framing was in there? What kind of visual style was in there? How were they sat in the video? How were they talking in the video? How many kind of edit seconds were in the video? All those kind of things that pull together that kind of visual analysis of that piece of media. It could be an image, could be a carousel, could be a video. It's then pulling that all together, looking at statistical analysis of all of that, and then also taking what you've just told it about what's going on in your world, like what's coming up. And it's putting that all together. And firstly, it's creating you the schedule of what you should post. Then it's going to come up with the formats of what that should be. And then every single individual post thereafter. So let's look at what it's done. So it said, I need to increase my conversion, I need to post a video on the 5th of July at 10. I need to film a direct camera 45-second video where it explains exactly what social discovery optimization is and tells viewers to join the Clue Labs waitlist via the link in the bio. And it tells me how to make it, tells me my hook. Everyone's optimizing for an algorithm that's about to be obsolete. I'm building the thing that replaces it. Okay, and it goes on. Post a 6-side carousel walking through 3 reasons to join the Clue Labs waitlist, ending on a direct link call to action. 3 reasons to get on the Clue Labs waitlist before everyone else figures this out. Film 40-second behind the video showing one real thing Inga shipped this week on Clue Labs. These are things that I need to make. But the question here today isn't about what I could make. It's about which posts drove money. Which posts drove money. And that's a really easy thing to answer. So what we do is we go to our dashboard and we scroll down right here. And we look at this, which is called the growth tracker, which is one of the most important things. We're working on ways to make it easier to understand. But this is one of the most important things in all of Clue Labs because this shows you where the growth of your account is happening. The first thing that this growth tracker does is it normalizes the data. That means that every KPI that we've set it, so it's either awareness, audience, engagement, or conversion, every KPI has normalized data. So all the data sits on an equal weighting so that we can truly look at where the intent of your audience is. What are they doing on your account? Are they just looking at you? Are they just engaging with you? Or are they showing conversion intent? Or how are you getting awareness, like new people's eyes on your account? Now you can see really quickly that this big yellow bit is the largest part of my growth tracker. Now the yellow is conversion, which means that I am most strong. I have been most strong in the past 30 days on my conversion. Now we can take that a bit further and look at the spikes. So conversion has been massively outperforming all of the posts. Like massively outperforming all of the posts, but we can look at the spikes. So I can tap on this post. You see that there's one post that I posted on that day. This one. This post drove conversion. Just stay consistent is an easy way to say something, but also says nothing in my opinion. The next spike was here. So the post that did this was saying you're bad at social media while not having access to true blueprint of what you should be doing. There was also a link to live session, so that also probably drove conversion. The next spike, here we go. Oh, this was the UK social media ban day. So this was a really big day for social media, which is definitely why it drove clicks. And then a big spike here. I posted 3 times this day. The algorithm stopped caring. This was a news jack, and this was how something changed on social. Another spike here on the 4th of June. I didn't actually post this day, which means that I must have done something in my stories. Sorry, 5th of June. Stories to have driven this traffic, which is something we're working on including in here. But this day as well, ultimately Clue Labs has been built on deep running drive to level the playing field. So you've been playing the right game on the wrong settings. That's what this post is. I can see really, really quickly the posts that drove conversion, that drove the money is this one, this one, this one, this one, this one, and this one. Okay, all of them are doing really well. They're all doing quite well for conversion overall. But this one, for example, was this one probably, 46.4. Okay. Yeah, this one was my lowest conversing, how to news jack anything in under 5 minutes. So that one went out, it didn't really convert anyone. If I remove conversion, you can see the other ones. I could just look at conversion in isolation, or I could look over the past 90 days, in which you'll see quite clearly that there has been an increase in my conversion from the 22nd of May. And it's been getting increasing because it wasn't necessarily a focus of mine. I was being too egotistical before that. But this is the one step further. I said that we're doing this like in 3 steps. The first step is knowing what days drove conversion. Once you've understood what days drive conversion, then you can truly start to look at attribution. So you can look at the actual sales that you made on those days. You could look at your Google Analytics and see what traffic and what behavior happened on your website at that time. And that is what we're building inside of Clue Labs. So that's phase 2 and phase 3. Phase 2 is to hook Clue Labs into your Google Analytics so that we can truly pull together like a traffic of conversion. And phase 3 would be to hook it into your payment collection like Stripe so that we can truly drive the attribution between a post on social media and an actual sale. In the meantime, we can definitely tell you which posts drove commercial intent in your company, and how other ones just, simply weren't built for that. And this is really important because it's important to understand that, this one, let's see. Awareness. That one did quite well for awareness. What if you never had to guess on social media again? The problem with what I'm looking at here is a lot of them are all conversion at the moment because that's the only thing I'm focusing on. If we pull up a different account, maybe we'll be able to see it in a little bit different way. But it's okay here. So this post, for example, or this day of posting, this one, there's only got one post, so that's better. If we zoom in here, you can see purple is engagement, blue is audience growth, green is awareness, yellow is conversion. So that post that went out that day performed the best in purple, which is engagement. This post, set up in minutes, grow for months, drove more engagement than it did conversion, which means that wouldn't be recommended, or that type or that style or that phrasing or that caption or that hook or that visual style wouldn't be recommended for conversion if you were to select a conversion campaign, because it's just not. This one, for example, there was no post on that day, but that day would have been best for awareness because the awareness is at the top. See, that day was good for audience. That post was better for audience. That post was better for audience growth. That post was better for audience growth. That post was better for engagement growth. That post audience. That one audience. This one conversion. This one conversion. This one conversion. That one engagement. It's just whichever's at the top. And we're working inside of Clue Labs to make sure that you can tap on this. It's a lot easier. But whatever the top line is what the key traffic growth drive that one gave. Ignore this is a test account, by the way. Please ignore the Clue score over there. It's not 0 out of 100, but this is me showing you how you can truly understand which posts are driving you money. It's the age-old question in social media. It's really, really important. In order to get true attribution is impossible currently. It's something, like I said, that we're working on. But what you can do is measure intent, which is exactly the same thing that happens in the paid ad industry. You would put money in to push ads, create ads, push them in front of people, and then you track the conversion intent. So like the website clicks or the profile visits or the tapping the learn more button. That is a conversion intent on top of that. And then you can look at your sales that you actually made and then look at how much it actually cost you to get that sale, if we start to look into paid performance. But you can apply the same logic into organic. And I've just shown you how with Clue Labs. So if you are interested in looking at and seeing which of your posts are actually driving money, you can sign up to Clue Labs for free for 14 days. Literally, like, you don't have to, it's no like tie-in. If you want to cancel before the end of the 14 days, you just cancel. But you will get a huge amount of information simply from those 14 days.